Social media is a cultural sewer. Twitter is no exception. The patriarchy's first mistake had been to assume that women were somehow lesser. Their second mistake was to fuck with Hermione Granger. A reminder to my audience that these people vote and have just as much power as you. Oh good, casual trans misogyny. This doc has everything. I would like to know how formal trans misogyny would look. Cis privilege is not having to sign a piece of paper that says you have a mental disease to get the right hormones in your body. According to our current cultural gatekeepers, I have a disease, and it's called toxic masculinity. I don't need a piece of paper to cure it. The food companies take care of that for me by replacing every ingredient with soy. When I took my first women's studies class, I was so opinionated. The irony here is that the patriarchy allows these classes to happen. Men hammer nails into pieces of wood, pave sidewalks and driveways, and put tiles on roofs. After this process is complete, property now has value, which will be taxed. Churl Harpy spinsters are given salaries from these taxes, which is a reward for teaching their neotenous counterparts that biting the hand that feeds is a great idea. If the patriarchy ever catches on to this scam, you won't have any opinions. Has anyone, especially hetero men, even had the thought that they can be masculine and feminine at the same time? Yeah, some have, and we call those men schizophrenics. LOL, hetero tears make me really happy. I make a comic entirely gay relationships. Some tough words coming from someone who probably has a mental breakdown every time a gendered pronoun is uttered in their presence. Reading about the patriarchy makes me want to gouge out my eyeballs. Amen, sister. Who cares about old white men? Who cares about the results of their explorations and inventions? I bet the guy who invented the wheel never even knew about his male privilege. I'm so non-binary. I'm ready to crush cis-normativity. Under the weight of the cat hair my carpet has collected over the years. I'm so completely drained today, and now another little piece of my soul has died under white supremacist heteropatriarchy. Does white supremacist heteropatriarchy force people to base their lives on hedonistic pursuits? Tonight I was positive the cop saw me as cis. After spending so much time brooding over cis-normativity, that took some getting used to. Wow, just wow, that pig was so disrespectful. He asked for my license and registration but didn't ask me about my preferred pronouns. My clueless het friend does not understand that bi women have to come out. Too bad it was my hour to start working so I could not start educating him and emasculating him in the process. If you are a decent human being, you pay no attention to notions of equality because such a shit-tier ideal requires that society as a whole must be rendered inferior to accommodate the feelings of the lesser among us. Even the most craven know that masculine behaviors and impulses are the only behaviors and impulses that get shit done. If the onesie-wearing leftists can't accomplish anything, no one should accomplish anything, hence their desire to emasculate anyone greater than themselves. When parents envision some fucked up fantasy of their child's future life and then feel the need to mourn when said child comes out as queer or trans, you can't mourn something that never existed, not to mention such a cis-heteronormative piece of garbage. Yeah, how dare those bigoted breeder scum expect that they won't feel like an alien amongst their own offspring? Having something in common with your child is a completely unreasonable expectation. I'm a young mother, and recently I went to Home Depot with my child so I could buy supplies for a repair. There was a police officer there, and he followed me around the store. I was profiled as a thief, or at least a troublemaker, because of my age. A millennial mom who finds that posting on Tumblr about oppressive cops is more important than raising her child. Post-millennials will be the first generation to be taught using hashtags instead of flashcards. Okay, Barack Obama Gutierrez, we're going to learn the importance of enemas, hashtag bottom problems. You won't understand this book. It's too deep for someone your age. Reads book, writes in-depth interpretation of the book, talks about the deep meaning of the blade of grass described on the 256th page. There you have it, everyone. The meaning of life is contained in this blade of grass. I got an A on my paper. I'm really smart. If I had been on Tumblr at age 12, I would have felt so at home and happy and good about the person I was and probably would have turned out more confident at an earlier age. So stop making ageist jokes about younger people on Tumblr, you assholes. The internet made me hypersensitive towards jokes about young people, but the internet would have made me a more confident person had I been exposed to it at an earlier age. My dad often makes comments about me wearing makeup, so I tell him, it's not my fault I was born into a patriarchal society that profits on the fact that women are socialized to believe that their worth comes from their looks. Guess who's been studying Marxist feminism? Girls don't need socialization to believe that. They already know it intuitively. I don't need to look up the stats to tell you that a ridiculous amount of unsolicited nudes are sent amongst horny teenagers on a daily basis. Also, Marxist feminism is redundant, but I guess these people will internalize any appeal to sophistication. Nothing gives the warm fuzzies of false superiority quite like a worthless college degree. Bigoted business owners, you're violating our religious liberty by telling us we can't discriminate against gays or women who want birth control. Ideally, the law. No, you're perfectly at liberty to do those things, and we are perfectly at liberty to punish you for doing so. The contradictory content of this post is the result of living a life devoid of any standards. Are you a strong and independent woman, or do you need your bigoted employer to subsidize your filthy fucking sex life? Are you completely secure in your sexual choices, or do you need the approval of religious bigots in order for that to happen? A primary reason these people have a problem with bigots is because these bigots happen to have money that they'd like to have as a reward for simply existing. I need feminism because no 9-year-old girl should have to develop an eating disorder due to oppression by boys like I did. You're allowing your life to be derailed by elementary school boys. At the same time, you're expecting us to believe that you're equal or superior to us in every way.